Hi there, welcome back to another quick and easy watercolor painting. I'm wetting from sort of the halfway mark down to the 1/3 mark there. And it's it's pretty much spring here now. So I'm gonna put a little bit of, quite a bit of blue in there and maybe just a little bit of a swipe of Payne's gray across there. We're just going to let that all mix together without, don't try to augment it too much. You know, my whole thing about watercolor painting is to touch the page a lot less. Okay, we're just going to let that all blend together. Now, I'm not going to rinse this brush out. Okay, so this has Payne's gray and a little bit of blue on it, and I'm going to pick up more Payne's gray. And I want there to be like a bunch of trees right here. I'm going to make like a little bit of like low-lying shrubbery sort of coming across here. Okay, now I'm going to take this brush and I'm going to give it a little bit of a swoopy hill kind of going across here. I'm going to take this brush and I'm going to put it right into my sienna, just like that. And we're going to let that all blend together. We're not going to try to augment it too much at all. Okay, we're just going to leave it the way it is. Now I'm going to take this brush and I'm going to rinse it out pretty good. And I'm going to pick up some green here. This is a green wash. And I'm just going to pick up a little bit more intense color. I'm going to put some green into some of these areas and a little bit of a green wash going across there like that. And you can see I'm just tapping the brush on the page. Okay? All right. Let's grab our, so this is my #1 watercolor brush, and I've just sharpened the tip here. I'm going to put some long, elongated trees, and you can see how that's picking up that pigment and pushing it out. Okay, same here, put a few trees coming out of here. And that's kind of interesting how that's doing that. That's pretty cool. All right, let's do, you know, sometimes you don't expect, you get these things that you just don't expect to happen on the page. I'm going to put in some brush across here, maybe like that. And I think I'm going to pick up my brush and I'm going to put a little bit more intense sienna across here. Just like that. I'm just tapping the brush onto the page, and that wetness that's there is going to start to augment that a little bit more. I'm going to pick up a little bit more intense sienna. I'm going to put some sienna in a few places like that. Just a few more places. All right, now we need this to dry. Okay, so you can let it air dry or take your hair dryer to it, whatever it is that you want to do. All right, so that kind of turned out pretty cool back in there. We're going to put a little bit more sienna across here. Just sort of in that sort of linear way like that. Yeah, that's all right. I'm going to touch a little bit of sienna into some places here. I kind of like how that turned out there. That's kind of cool. And yeah, just kind of pull some of that down in there like that. I'm going to rinse my brush out really well. I'm going to pick up some of this green wash here. I'm just going to touch this in a few places. I want to create some pine trees, or the look of some pine trees maybe. And I'm going to pick up some yellow ochre. I'm going to do the same thing here with some yellow ochre. And I'm going to paint all this across here with some yellow ochre too. Nice. You see I'm using a bigger brush. I always use a I think people get a little bit too finicky in here with a small brush. So I want to, if I can get you to do anything, I really want you to think about using a big honking brush, okay? Pick up a little bit more green. Just going to touch a little bit of green into a few places, like that. All right, that's not too bad. And one last little thing, I'm going to put a little bit of salt across my midground and maybe just a little bit of salt up in that tree line up there. All right, let's let this dry and see what we get. All right, so all those little trees that I was sort of trying to put in there, those little pine trees, that all turned out pretty neat. I like this very intense color close up, and then the scribe lines. The salt has really made some interesting little areas around there. I think it's a pretty interesting painting. I'd love to know what you think of it. Let me know in the comment section. If you give it a shot, I'd love to hear from you and let me know if it turned out for you. I love some of that intense green that's going on in there too. That's some pretty interesting stuff. If you're currently a subscriber, thank you very much. And if you're not currently a subscriber, please consider subscribing to my channel. I'd love to know where you're from. If you could let me know in the comment section where you're from, I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again real soon.